What's up, YouTube? All right, we are up and finishing getting ready to start our day. Today is Sunday, January 25th, 2025. It's 10:17 in the morning. We are going to start our pre-trip within the next 15-20 minutes and get rolling. If I'm not mistaken, we are less than 10 miles from the shipper for this load that we're picking up today at noon. Looking at the reviews also, they do not allow you to check in early. I'm saying that, I mean, not like early, right? Like I could probably be there about an hour early and that should hopefully be okay. But we're 8 miles, 13 minutes away. So we're not far at all. I have literally been chilling here all day, all afternoon. Yesterday was super dope. I played World of Warcraft with some homies that I hadn't talked to in a little while. So I jumped in Discord. They're like, oh man, what are you? I'm like, I got internet on my truck now. What's up? You know, so playing a little World of Warcraft, played a little Path of Exile 2, a little Ark, and yeah, so it's been super chill. But like I said, we're getting ready to start our pre-trip. So first off, thanks for watching the video. Be sure to like the video if you like it, comment if you have any questions, if you just like this type of stuff. And yeah, we'll see you guys back here in a little bit. All right, we are backed into the dock, and now we're getting ready to play some little gaming. I'll have to do a little gaming. I think we're gonna load up on some Ark, do a little single player, messing around. They said my appointment wasn't obviously until 12, so it's 11:32 as of like right now. I'm backed into the door and everything, so they might start a little early or start at 12, she said, so I don't know. So yeah, we're gonna play a little bit of games. Most of the reviews say it takes about an hour for them to load, so we're gonna do that and see you guys once we get done. Let's go. All right guys, so we got a green light now. We just turned off my computer and we're gonna go grab this paperwork real quick, and yeah, let's hit the road. All right, dudes, guess where we are? Back at the shipper. Just backed into the door, and yeah, so I did a time lapse of getting the paperwork and all that, but I was talking about in there the air pressure gauge that we have in our truck, right? And what it is it lets you know how much pressure is on like the fifth wheel drive, tires, that type of thing. And so this is what it is. And to anybody that has these Freightliners in particular, what you want to look for is you want your PSI to be at 62 to 64, which will be that first or second mark after the 60, and with your trailer tires at a good position wherever that might be. If you're going through Cali, the 40-foot mark. Other states, you know, don't really matter too much, but that's what you're kind of looking for, along with obviously getting your trailer tires at the right, your tandems at the right area as well. But as long as it's at 62 to 64 in that range, you're good on the drives. It's usually pretty evenly distributed when you're at the 62 to 64 mark. Now, when I got my paperwork, started sliding my tandems, I had my tandems all the way forward, right? I just like to get a ballpark to know where I'm at. The load that we have is 43,000 pounds. So I slid them all the way forward, and I noticed my air gauge was still at 70. So I was thinking that maybe there's like a slight incline here, like the back of the trailer would be higher, which is putting a lot more weight on the drive axles. So I kept them at the all the way forward. I figured I would like circle around the parking lot and keep an eye on the gauge to see if it dropped down to 62 to 64 because of maybe there was an incline here where we're loading at or getting loaded at, and nothing. So this place obviously is like a lot of places. If you ever have to get reworked, a lot of places require a scale ticket. Some require a CAT scale ticket. Some have a scale on site that you can take a picture of and then show them. I've had that happen at least in particular, but most of the places require a CAT scale ticket. So I already knew I was going to be too heavy on the drives. I'm getting tandems all the way forward, and I'm still sitting at 70 PSI on my air gauge here, which again, if it's over 64, 66 might be like okay, but anything over that at the 70 mark, that's too much. Again, I usually get it around the 664 mark. And again, anybody working at May or driving these Freightliner Cascadias, you know, if it's a 62 to 64, your weight's pretty evenly distributed, as long as your tandems are obviously where they're supposed to be at for the state that you're driving through, right? So I drove to the Loves that we stopped at last night, which was a good little ways away. It's probably again a 15-minute trip over there. So I got scaled, and just to show you guys what we had, again, I knew as soon as, again, I was driving, it didn't adjust at all, so I just knew that it was going to be too much in the front. So this is our scale ticket. I'm going to try and get my camera to focus in on this. So this was our scale ticket here. So just to show you guys, we had, so our steers is the top weight, 11,760. That's good. Drives, second one, 3,560. So we are 1,060 pounds over on the drives, and I have 30,060 on the trailers. So what they need to do is take some of that weight, and again, my tandems were all the way forward. So what they're going to have to do is they're reworking it now. So they're going to have to take that 5,000 or 2.5 of that, slide it to the back, and then, or however they do it. But again, this is a good indication, boys. You want it at that 62 to 64 mark, so no more than there, right there. That's about 64 psi. That's where you want it to be at. If it's sitting here at 70 like mine was, you're way too heavy. So again, we're getting reworked, and then as long as it looks good, again, where my tandems are and that the weight distribution according to the PSI gauge right there, then we're just gonna hoof it. I don't feel like going back to that Loves. It is on the way, so we might if it's kind of questionable. But again, that 62 to 64 mark, as long as your tandems are where they're supposed to be legally and you're at that 62 to 64 mark, 9 out of 10 times, as long as the overall weight that they load you with isn't over what you can haul, right? Because understand your truck's 34,000 pounds, truck and trailer, right? So if you're pushing 46,000 pounds, 47,000 pounds of load of like what you got in there, then you might want to get scaled to see your overall. But again, that rule of thumb with the gauge, obviously, you know, I recommend still getting scaled, right? It doesn't hurt. But again, in my experience so far, that's just kind of, I always know if it's at 62 to 64, I'm good. As long as that the total weight that they loaded me with isn't 47,000 pounds, we're always going to be good to go. So anyways, we'll keep you updated, and see you back in a little.